Good morning. Namaste to each of you. Thank you for joining me this morning to honor your mind and your body and your spirit. Let's take a few moments to get present. Find a nice, comfortable seated position where you can sit nice and tall, lengthen the back of your spine, the back of your neck, opening up your diaphragm, opening up your chest, and opening up your heart. Gently close your eyes and soften your thoughts. Soften your eyes. Soften your shoulders. Soften your heart. Observe your breath as it is, soft and gentle. Breathing life into you with each inhale and relaxation with each exhale. Feel the grace of being present, returning to that awareness again and again. You may open your eyes now. For this morning's intention, you may think of a positive word or phrase to have with you on your mat and perhaps carry with you throughout the day. For this morning's intention, I'd like to talk about the fourth Yama, which is Brahmacharya. And Brahmacharya has kind of had an evolution of meanings. It went from kind of chaste lifestyle to non-excess, and now it's called the proper use of energy, or its definition is proper use of energy. And it's basically finding that balance between overdoing and underdoing. So Brahmacharya keeps us in balance by asking us to use our energy wisely, to develop a balanced life. It reminds us that we need both work and play, effort and ease, inhale and exhale, yes and no, because both overindulgence and deprivation leave us depleted. So by practicing yoga, specifically the asanas, it helps us to balance us, and it keeps us, or it gives us stillness to soothe our busy minds. It gives us awareness to find that sweet spot in our bodies, and it gives us mindfulness to keep our inner spirit focused on the present. So this morning, I'd like to have a pranayama of the technique called Vritti. It's equal length breath, and it's a calming and balancing breathing technique. So let's start by just observing our natural breath. That one, when we start to get present, it's just observe your breath as it is, soft and gentle. But does it contain a little bit of choppiness in that inhale or exhale, or is one of the inhales, or is the inhale longer than the exhale? This Vritti technique, it helps to even that out by using a counting technique. So let's start. I'm going to use a count of 4, and we're going to use a full inhale. So it's going to start from your stomach. You can roll up to your ribs and then up to your chest. And then the exhale will roll away from your chest, away from your ribs, and away from your stomach. So the big ocean wave coming from your stomach all the way up through your ribs to your chest, and then from your chest, it flowing away from the beach like a wave, just kind of gently flowing away from your chest, your ribs, and your stomach. So let's begin with the count. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to have you continue on to yourself quietly, and you may want to increase or decrease that count just to fit your own specific breath. So let's just take a few moments and do that count specific to you. And you may open your eyes. And for this morning's meditation, we're going to just take this one step further. And it's a meditation called Mudra Meditation, and it's on the Live Your Yoga cards that I have. Oh, there goes my lesson plan. And it's under the title of Balance. So with the mudra, it usually involves our fingers, right? So on each hand, and I'll read it to you first, and then we'll practice it. So on each hand, simultaneously touch the tips of your thumb and your index finger together. Then on the inhale, move your thumb to the next finger, your middle finger, and then continue with your ring finger and last your pinkies. So you're going to just kind of go down each finger and keep your thumb connected to each finger for a full breath, and repeat this sequence until I have a stop. So on the inhale and exhale, you have it on the first finger. Inhale, exhale, move it to the next. And you can practice that, and I will meet you on the mat. you may open your eyes now. It's a nice, lovely, gentle practice there of meditation. So let's start our asanas with some neck and head stretches. So we're going to do some nods and then turning left and right. So let's start with exhale, looking down, then inhale, looking up to the top of the tree, 45-degree angle, and then exhale, looking down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Inhale, look up. And then bring your head back to a neutral position with your spine nice and long and tall. Going to exhale, turning our head to the left. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, turn it to the right. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, turn it to the left. Exhale, bring it back to center. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, turn it to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, turn it to the left and bring it back to center. Then we'll do a few shoulder shrugs. So we're going to inhale, bringing our shoulders gently up to our ears, and then bringing toward the back, bringing our shoulder blades together. Exhale, bringing them down toward the mat, and then inhale, bringing up toward our ears again. Exhaling, bringing our shoulders together and our shoulders down. Shoulder blades together and our shoulders down to the mat. Inhale, up toward the ears. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. And exhale, down. And let's just reverse the direction gently. Rolling the other way. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. And one last time. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. We'll do some sun twists. We bring our fingers to the side of the mat and then bring them up. Inhaling and then twist to the left. Exhale, bringing our hands down. Right hand onto the left knee, left hand behind your hip. Inhale, sweep our hands up. Turning to the right, exhale, bringing our hands down. Left hand on your right knee, right hand behind your hips on the mat. Inhale, sweep up. Twisting over to the left, exhale, bring your hands down. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, turning to the left, bring your hands down. And inhale, sweep up. Turning to the right, bring your hands down. And leaving your right hand on your left knee, we're going to take our left hand and bring it over to the right knee. So we're crossing our left arm over the right arm, and the left hand lands on our right knee. And then we're going to bring the backs of our palms together for eagle arm. And then gently bring your shoulders up so that your elbows are at shoulder height. And if you can try to bring your palms so that they're touching together. And then bring that back down. We'll do a few more sweeps. So inhale, bring our arms up. Sweep over to the left, bring your hands down. Inhale, sweep up, bring our arms over to the right side. Come down. Inhale, sweep up. Bringing our arms over to the left, twisting our torso to the left. Exhale, come down. And inhale, come up. Twisting our torso to the right. Exhale, come down. Inhale, sweep up. Twist our torso to the left. Come down. Inhale, come up. And we're going to twist over, bring our to the right, bring our hands down, keeping our left hand on our right knee. We're going to bring our right arm over, placing it on our left kneecap. And then bringing the palms, back of the palms of our hands together. And then gently raise your elbows up to shoulder height. And if you can, bring the palms of your hands together for eagle arms. And then we'll release that, bring them back down. We're going to roll down on our backs. So you can do that one vertebrae at a time or the express method. We can try one vertebrae at a time this morning. Bring our knees to our chest and give them a nice gentle hug. Maybe rock back and forth a little bit. Wake up our lower back. Then extend both legs to the bottom of the mat. Both feet go down to the bottom of the mat. We're going to come into a reclined mountain pose. So it's an active pose where our toes are pointed up to the sky. Legs are strong, but there's a gentle bend in our knees. Shoulders are relaxed and rolled back toward the mat. Crown of our heads facing up toward the sky. Then we'll bring our right foot, sliding it on the inner portion of our left leg. Bring our right foot all the way up to the knee so that our legs form a figure 4. Guide your right knee down toward the mat, whatever is comfortable for you. And then we're going to bring the right ankle on top of the left leg, right above the kneecap. Again, keeping that figure 4 position. And then slide the sole of your left foot all the way up, coming into reclined pigeon pose. You may want to guide again your right knee toward the right side of the mat. And then we're going to lift our left foot up to the sky, flexing both feet so that the toes are pointing up to the sky. The left leg is at an angle as if you're seated in a chair. If you would like a little bit more stretch, you can interlace your fingers behind your left thigh and gently guide it toward your chest. And then release. If you're holding your thigh, to release that. And we're going to take our right leg and cross it over our left leg as if we were seated in a chair and crossing our legs. So we're going to come into eagle legs. So you can have your eagle legs be just like this, or you could try to wrap your right toes around the back of your left leg. So they're just peeking out on the other side of your left leg. So those are eagle legs. Then we'll bring the left foot down to the mat and slide the left foot all the way down to the end of the mat, keeping our right foot on our left thigh, right above the kneecap. And then with our left hand, we're going to place it on our right knee and guide our right knee to the left side of the mat for a reclined twist. And then bring it back to center. Slide it, right foot all the way down. Come back into reclined mountain pose. And your feet are flexed, pointing up, toes pointing up to the sky. Navel's tucked to your spine, bringing your lower back down toward the mat. Shoulders are relaxed. And we'll slide the sole of our left foot along the inner part of your right leg on up to the kneecap, the right kneecap, creating a figure 4. And then place the left ankle on top of your right thigh, just above the kneecap, keeping that figure 4 position. And we'll slide the right foot up, placing the right foot on the mat, coming into reclined pigeon pose. Guide your left knee toward the left side of the mat. And we'll lift our right foot up, flexing our toes up to the sky. And again, if you'd like a little more stretch, you can wrap your fingers around the back of your right thigh and guide your right thigh toward your chest. And then release your hands if you were doing that. And cross your left leg over your right leg as if you were seated in a chair with your legs crossed. And come into eagle legs. So you can keep them here, toes are flexed. Or you can wrap your left toes around the back of your right leg. And then we'll place the sole of our right foot down on the mat and slide it down to the end of the mat, keeping our left foot on our right leg, right above the right kneecap. And take your right hand, placing it on your left knee. We're going to guide our left knee over to the right side of the mat. Shoulder blades are still snug into the mat. And then inhale, bringing our knee back. You bring both knees back to our chest and give them a nice gentle hug. And you can either roll over to the side. We're going to go up into tabletop, so you can roll over to the side, or you can roll yourself back to an upright position. And then come into tabletop. Fingers are spread wide apart. Knees are right below your hips. Wrists are right below your shoulders. Navel's tucked to your spine, creating a nice flat back. Weight is evenly dispersed between your left hand and your right hand. Balance, creating balance. We'll do a few cat-cows here. So we're going to exhale, rounding our back, dropping our head down and tailbone down. And inhale, lift our head and tailbone up for cow. Exhale, dropping our head and tailbone down for cat. Inhale, lifting our head and tailbone up for cow. And then continue at your own pace. Big inhales, big exhales. Synchronizing your breath with your movement. And then come back to a flat back when you're ready. Bring your knees together under your hips. We're going to lift the right knee, cross it over our left leg, and place the right knee down on the mat. Just a gentle little stretch, twist and stretch in the back. So we're going to lift our right leg up, bring it back to the center. Now lift left knee up, bring the left knee down to the mat on the opposite side of the right leg. And then lift the left knee back up, bring it back to center. And again with the right leg, so lift the right knee up, bring the right knee down to the mat on the opposite side of the left leg. Bring the right leg and knee back to center. Lift the left knee, bring it over, cross it over to the right leg, bringing it down to the mat. And then bring it back to center. And this time, you may want to reach for your block. We're going to take our right knee, cross it over our left, bringing the right knee down to the mat. And then we're going to walk our hands back and come down into cow face. So our left knee will be on at a V shape above our right leg, which is at a V shape. And the idea is to have your both feet on the sides and try to anchor both hips onto the mat. Or this is where the block comes in handy. If that is a little too ouchy, you can try it with the block. That'll raise it up and not have quite as much pressure on the tendons there. So that's the legs for cow face. To do the arms, we're going to lift our right arm up, and then we're going to bend our left arm so that it's coming up our back. So we're going to take our left hand and try to reach on our back to our right shoulder, and then we'll bring our right hand down to touch the left fingertips. Some fingertips, like on my other side, you'll see that doesn't work. I can only get my lower arm up my back so far, and I can't touch my fingertips. So you do what you can. Then come bring our hands back down to the mat, come back into tabletop position. Bring our knees back together again. And then lift our left leg up, bring it over to the right side of our right leg. And we're going to walk our hands back and come into a seated pose again. So this time, both legs are in a V shape again, but the right leg is above the left leg. I'm going to raise our left arm up, bring our right arm around back, trying to reach toward the left shoulder. And as you see, I can't get there from here, but we just give it a shot. So that's called cow face. Then we'll bring both arms back down to the mat, walking our hands back up, coming into tabletop. We're going to bring our knees to the edges of the mat. Big toes come together, lowering our hips toward our ankles and come into wide-legged child pose. And slide our hands out in front of us and give our bodies a nice big stretch. And then come back up to tabletop. Tuck our toes under, walk our hands back, come up onto the balls of our feet and push down, coming up into mountain pose. So we'll go through our mountain essentials again. Toes are facing the straight edge of the mat. We'll lift our toes up and off the mat. Spread our toes as far apart as we can, and then bring them back down to the mat, lifting our heels up off the mat, and then bring our heels back down. Just feel super grounded. Our legs nice and straight and strong, gentle bend in the knees, navel's tucked to the spine, elongating the back and the back of the neck. Shoulders are relaxed. Crown of the head is reaching up toward the sky. We're going to sweep our hands up with a big inhale. And exhale, bring our hands down to the mat, bending our knees to support our lower back. Just check in here for a moment. Feel if you have any tension. Breathe any deep breaths you have into that tension. Inhale, bringing our hands up to our shins, flattening out our back, sending our gaze down. And then send the crown of our head down toward the mat with a big exhale. Inhale, sweep your hands all the way up and overhead, bringing ourselves up onto our tippy toes for palm tree. We'll just sway here. I don't know if you can hear the wind in this recording there or in the live version. The leaves on the tree are really blowing quite hard. And then we'll bring our heels back down, bring your hands back down to the mat, bending our knees. Inhale, bring our hands up to our shins, flattening out our back, just creating a nice long stretch there. And then exhale, bring the crown of our head down toward the mat. Inhale, sweeping our hands all the way up overhead, bringing our palms together for a supported side stretch. We're going to bring our right hand down to our right thigh and slide that right hand down toward our right knee. Inhale, come back up. Bring our left hand down to the left thigh, slide it to our left knee, and come back up. Right hand comes down, slide it to the right knee. Exhaling, inhale, come back up. Exhaling, bring your left hand down, sliding it down to the left knee. Inhaling, bringing the hand back up. Then exhale, both hands down, again, all the way to the mat, bending our knees. Inhale, halfway up, half forward fold, flat back, nice long spine, sending our gaze down to the ground. And then send the crown of our head down to the ground. Inhale, sweeping our hands all the way up overhead. Palms come together. Palms come to heart center. And we're going to do a few chair poses here. So the chair pose, you have your feet hip width apart. We'll bring our hands out at shoulder height and then just lower our hips down toward our ankles. Slowly with control. Trying to get our thighs parallel to the mat. And then inhale, come back up. You could drop your hands alongside. Then we're going to inhale, bring our arms back up again. Exhale, dropping our hips down toward our ankles, down towards the floor. Inhale, bring your hands down, press it up into mountain. And then one last time, inhale, lift our arms up. Exhale, lowering our hips toward our ankles. Bring our hips down toward the earth. Just hold here for a moment. And then inhale, drop our hands and push up into mountain. And we'll take one deep inhale, bringing our hands up. Exhale, bring our hands all the way down to the mat, bending our knees. Inhale, halfway up for a half forward fold. Exhale, bringing the crown of the head down toward the mat. And inhale, sweeping our hands all the way up overhead. And then we're bringing our fingertips to the back of our hips. Feet are still hip width apart. Shoulders are relaxed and rolled back. Navel's tucked to the spine. And chin is just tucked in toward our chest. I'm going to drop our shoulders back into a supported back bend. And continue to breathe here. Find that sweet spot of the bend so that your breath stays nice and balanced. Then inhale, come back up. How's everyone doing? Let's come into mountain pose. We're going to sweep our hands all the way up overhead. Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bringing both hands down to the mat. We're going to extend just our right leg to the back of the mat, coming into runner's lunge. Placing our right hand down on the mat, we sweep our left hand all the way up and follow it with your eyes if you can. And once your hand gets up to the sky, opening your chest, opening your heart. Then exhale, bring that hand back down. Lower our right knee to the mat, coming into low lunge. We're going to push down into our left foot as we reach both hands up to the sky. And bringing both hands back down on the right side of our foot. So both hands land on the mat on the right side of our left foot. Our left knee is stacked over our left ankle, and the left shoulder is resting gently on the left knee, coming into lizard pose. You can stay here for lizard pose, or you can, where's my block? You can get your block and you can use that for your hands. Create a little bit of height for your hands. And then you can bring your forearms down onto the block, or bring your forearms down to the mat. And then bring yourself back up. Tuck your toes under, your back toes under, coming back into runner's lunge. We're going to then walk our hands along the long side of the mat to the right. And tuck our toes in and our heels are out, so we're a little bit pigeon-toed. Taking your hand, and you can use your block here as well. Placing your left hand flat on the mat or on the block. Sweep your right hand up to the sky. And then bring that back down. We'll do that on the other side. So place your right hand on the mat or on the block. Sweep your left hand up to the sky. Follow it with your eyes, opening your chest. And then sweep that back down. We're going to walk our hands over to our right foot. And then walk our hands over to our left foot. Walk our hands back to center. And then bend our knees, placing our hands on our hip. We're going to upright our torso, coming into a wide-legged stance. And then we're going to pivot our left foot so it's pointing to the short edge of the mat. And come into warrior two. So we're going to bend our left knee over our left ankle. Back foot is at about a 45-degree angle with the back edge nice and snug into the mat. Chest is open to the long side of the mat. Arms come up to shoulder height. And gently turn your head to look at your left fingertips. And then bring your left fingertips up to the sky as you lower your right hand to your right thigh, coming into peaceful or reverse warrior. And then bring your left arm down to your left thigh, coming into extended side angle. We'll sweep our right hand up to the sky. And if you can, send your gaze up to your right hand. And then bring your right hand back a little bit so you're really opening up your chest. And then bring your right hand all the way back down to the mat. Pivoting your back foot, coming back into runner's lunge. We'll send our left foot back to meet our right foot and come into downward dog. So with downward dog, your fingers are splayed wide apart. Index finger pointing to the top of the mat. Arms are nice and straight and strong. Chest is reaching toward the thighs to elevate your hips. And your knees are bent. You could be pedaling out your foot. And then slowly walk your feet up to your hands, coming into a forward fold. And then bring your hands all the way up overhead. Palms together. Palms come to heart center. And we're going to do some eagle poses. So we're going to just do one side right now, and we'll do that whole routine and the other side in a minute. So you may want to have your block. We'll start with planting our right foot down. Put that right there. Right foot's planted on the mat. You have your block to the right of that. And you bring your left foot and just touch your toes to the mat. And you could do this, or if you want to use the block, you can bring your left toes up and crossing them over your leg, placing them on the block. And then your left arm comes up, right arm goes over the left arm. The backs of your hands come together, or if you can, bring the palms of your hands together. Relaxing your shoulders, lift your elbows up to your shoulder height. And then we're going to do chair pose. So we're going to just lower our hips down toward our ankles. And if you can remove your foot from the block. Maybe not. That. And wrap your foot around your leg. So I like how eagle pose, you can come out of that now, how eagle pose is a complicated pose. So it kind of, when you feel your world's kind of chaotic, you still know you can balance that chaos with stillness and strength and balance, basically. So that's the three things that eagle pose incorporates: that stillness where you laser focus, and that balance on that one foot, and that strength that you have with your legs and your arms all together. So that in any situation, chaotic situation, you always have those elements together. So let's go through that routine again. So we're going to start with mountain pose and do this side this time. So sweeping our hands up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Bending our knees to support our lower back. We're going to extend our left leg to the back of the mat. Planting our left hand down next to our right foot. Then sweep our right hand all the way up to the sky. Maybe back a little further so that we're really opening up our chest. And then bring that right hand back down. Just bring our left knee down to the mat into low lunge. And we're just push down into our right foot, bringing our hands, both hands up to the sky, and a gentle back bend to low lunge. And then bring both hands down to the mat on the left side of your right foot. So both hands are on the side of the left side of the right foot, coming into lizard pose. So you can use your block here. You can place both hands on the mat or on your block. And then bring your forearms down to the block or down to the mat. And try to keep your right knee tucked toward your right shoulder, not have it splayed out. And then bring your hands back down, back into runner's lunge by tucking your toes, back toes under. We're going to walk our hands over to the long side of the mat, coming into wide-legged stance. Toes are pointed inward, heels are out, and a pigeon-toed. We'll send our right hand down to the mat, sweep our left hand up to the sky, following it with our gaze if we can. And then bring our right hand back down, our left hand back down, sweep your right hand all the way up. And then bring our right hand back down. And walk our hands over to our left toes. And then walk our hands over to our right toes. Walk our hands back to center. Bend the knees, bring our hands to our hips and upright our torso. And pivot our right foot so it's facing the top of the mat. Come into warrior two. Right knees bent over the right ankle. Back foot's nice and snug in the mat at a 45-degree angle. Chest is facing the long side of the mat. Sweep our arms up and then gently send our gaze over to our right fingertips. Lowering our left hand down the left thigh, raising our right hand up to the sky, following our gaze, or following our hand with our gaze. And then lowering our right arm to our right thigh, sweeping our left hand up to the sky, and then bringing it back a little bit so we're really opening our chest. And we'll bring our left hand all the way down to the mat, pivoting our back foot, coming into runner's lunge. We'll bring our right foot back to our left foot, coming into downward dog. We'll just take a moment to walk out our dog here. Feeling that nice stretch. Then slowly walk your feet up to your hands, coming into forward fold. Crown of your head is reaching toward the mat. Then slowly, big inhale, sweeping our hands up over our head. Palms come together. Palms come to heart center. And we'll do eagle pose on the other side. So we'll have our foot planted, left foot planted into the mat. We'll bring our right foot up and cross it over and place our right toes either on the block or on the mat. We'll bring our right arm up and cross that with our left arm, bringing the backs of our hands together. And gently lift the elbows up toward your shoulder height. And if you can bring your palms together. And then we'll come into chair pose by just lowering our hips down toward our ankles. And if you can lift your right foot up off the block or mat. And try to wrap it around your foot, your leg. That's not happening. And then you can come out of it. Yay! So we're trying to find the balance between overdoing and underdoing as well. So let's bring our pinky toes to the edges of the mat. Heels are tucked in at 45-degree angle. Bring our hands up to our heart center, prayer pose, and lower our hips and ankles all the way down, bringing our torso between our legs, elbows touch on the inner part of our knees, wide-legged stance, or wide-legged squat rather. And then we'll bring our hands down toward the mat. And then bring our seat on down to the mat. And we'll roll back. We'll use our express method by just tucking our pants underneath our knees and rolling back. Give our knees a nice gentle squeeze against our chest. And we're going to take our interlaced fingers, put them behind the lower part of our head. Elbows are pointing to the outside edges of our mat. Then we're going to take our right leg and extend it out at a 45-degree angle. Toes are flexed, pointing up to the sky. And then gently, with control, lower it down to the mat. Once it touches the mat, bring it back up with control to that 45-degree angle. And then bring it back to your chest. We'll do that with the other leg. So extend your left leg out fully. Toes are flexed up to the sky. It's about 45-degree angle off the mat. Then with control, slowly lowering it to the mat. Once it touches, lift it back up slowly. And then bring that knee back to your chest. We'll do that on the other side again. Extend the right leg fully out. Toes pointing to the sky. Lowering your heel toward the mat, touching the mat. And then gently bringing it back up again. Bring that knee back toward your chest. Again, your lower back is connected with the mat. Find that sweet spot where everything feels supported. Extend your left leg out, lowering the heel to the mat. And then bring that heel back up. And bring the knee back toward your chest. And we'll do that one more time on each side. Extend the right leg out. Toes are flexed. Lowering it gently with control to the mat. Lifting it back up. Bring the knee back to the chest. Extend your left leg out. Lowering it to the mat. Inhale, bring it back up. And bringing your knee back to your chest. You remove your hands from the back of your head, extending your arms out at shoulder height. Knees are at your chest. And we're going to exhale, dropping our knees to the right for recline twist. And then gently turning your head to look at your left fingertips. Inhale, lift, turn your head back to center. Inhale, lift your legs back to center. Exhale, drop your knees to the left side of the mat. And then gently, slowly turn your head to look at your right fingertips. Then slowly turn your head back to center. Lift your legs back to center. And then extend your legs to the bottom of the mat. Prepare for Shavasana. Bringing your heels to the edge corners of your mat, and letting your feet just flop open. Arms at an angle away from your side with palms facing up. Shoulder blades are nice and relaxed and snug into the mat. Take 3 deep breaths, and each exhale, lower and relax. Lower and relax. Lower and relax. Today's poem is called Walk Slowly by Danna Faulds. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still. And just like that, something in me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper, and I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line, that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget, catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going, that many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe and be, and walk slowly into the mystery.